Okay. Today we're going to talk about MLS training, more specifically how to set up a drip campaign. As comfortable as we get with MLS and how to set things up, that's what's going to make or break how much money you make. As comfortable you are with it, the more prospects you can find, the more opportunities you can send to people, and then kind of work backwards from there. So, sharing my screen. What you want to do if you first get a new client or you're looking to if you get a new client or you're wanting to set up automatic drips for your new clients, for yourself, if you want to start learning about markets, everything is going to come through MLS. So the first thing I do every morning is I get updates, basically new properties that hit the market in markets that I know I can go in and renovate or do a flip or a new build or something like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set an automatic drip campaign for myself. For this example, I'm going to focus on, let's call it Metro West fix and flip opportunities. So under contacts, new, and I'm going to set myself up on a campaign. So I'm going to call this Metro West flips. I'm going to put my email here and save. Contact's been saved. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go to searches, new contact search. Now there's a couple different things we can do here. If someone, let's say, is looking just at a specific town. I'm just looking in Framingham for 400,000. You can use this first screen, type in Framingham, their budget, search, and it'll automatically update you anytime a property comes on in Framingham under that price range. But for this one, let's say we're going to look in Metro West specifically for flips. I'm going to go to map. I'm going to zoom in closer to Metro West where I'm looking. So right off the bat, you're seeing how many single family properties are on the market throughout Massachusetts. But what I can do is I can draw my radius where I want to be targeting. I can do a simple circle just to get a broad range like this. Or what I always like to do, let's get rid of this thing. How do I get rid of this? What I can do is I can draw. Oh, there we go. The shape that I want to target. So I'm just going to click and I'm going to make my own custom radius for markets that I want to be notified in. Again, we said Metro West, so that's what I'm using for this example. And what it's going to do, it's going to tell me all the single families that are popping up in this radius. 478 results. That's awful. So what are we targeting? We're targeting houses that need to have updates to them. So what we're going to do is scroll down. On this right side, we're going to see keywords. Oh, one sec. So we're going to go into this keywords right here, and we're going to start anything that we put in here. These are going to be automatically notify us when one of these words is in an MLS listing. So we're looking for bad properties. So words that come to mind, I'm thinking as is, I'm thinking builders, I'm thinking investors, contractors, where is, because a lot of times you'll see as is, where is. So just doing that right there, we've already limited down to 27 results just by doing this. I'm going to save the search. And I'm going to go to matches. These are going to be the 27 matches that we just found. And a lot of these are going to be like not fit. Like looking at this one right here, this is an updated home. And yes, Hannah, you can absolutely manually select the markets. Instead of going to map, that first screen that comes up, you can just plug it directly in there. I can show you it right after this one. But what we're going to do is these are all the things that popped up. So I'm just going to start looking at these properties right off the bat. Attention builders, end users. Well-maintained, expansion potential. So let's look at this one, 43 Rich Valley Road in Wayland. Let's just look at this as an example. Click on the pictures. All right, needs work, needs new kitchen, needs new floors, needs new paint. It's ugly. Maybe this is a potential project that we can look at. So what we do is we go to our training about how to run numbers and you go through it. But setting yourself up in this, again, what we did is we put our own email here. So anytime a new property comes on that fits our description, we're automatically going to get notified. And then we can start looking at these right off the bat. Hey, new property just came on in Dover. Sorry. New property just came up in Dover. I'm going to automatically look at it, but I'm going to get notified every time a new property comes on that is in that radius, that's as is, contractor, builder special, anything like that. I guess people are trying to join and they're not getting. I don't know why this didn't work. Hold on one sec. Let's just get. So that's how you kind of use the map. So what we can also do, Hannah, like you were talking about. Not necessarily. So what you can do, because all this is, great question. It's not poaching at all, because all we're doing is trying to get more builders, investors that we can start working with. So for this example, newly completed home, this is a spec home. It was built in 2023 in Natick. Sorry, 2023. Public records is this top right. Silva Development LLC bought this property. So what we can do is we can literally go in and plug in Silva Development LLC into LLC lookup on Google, and we can find exactly who this is, and then you can reach out to them directly. But no, it's not poaching at all. We're just trying to find this information. So Hannah, your question earlier, I think Hannah might have just came in. I think Taylor might have just came in. I don't know why that didn't pop up right away, but anyway, so Hannah, so for your question, let's do an MLS drip on, let's say you have a client specifically looking for multifamilies above 3 units in Framingham. Plug in their name here. Call it Hannah's buyers. If their name is John Doe, we put that in here. Plug in your own email, which I do every time because I want to be notified when a property comes on that works for my client. Add additional email. I'm going to plug theirs in as well. This is your buyer's email. They're automatically going to get updated every time a new property comes on. Save. I'm going to go to searches. New contact search. Now we said we're going to look for multifamilies in Framingham. Let's say their budget's up to 900,000.
Oh yeah.
Let's be really quiet. Tiptoe around the woods. Try and find the dinosaur nest.
I don't know who's on right now. If you can mute.
That's probably me.
Oh, I'm muting you. Oh, I can go through and mute. Nice. Actually, if you have questions, you probably can't be able to talk now. Hold on. I'll unmute you.
I can do it.
And talk if you want to. Anyway, so we said Framingham up to 900,000. We also said we need 3+ units. So down at the bottom, you see additional criteria. Click on that. And you can just type in units, and you're going to see right off the bat number of units. I'm going to put 3+. Now looking up at this top right, we only have one result that fits everything that we did. Framingham multifamily 3+ up to 900,000. So every time a new property comes on that fits that, you're automatically going to get notified. My guess is there's just nothing on the market, or we're too low of a budget. So let's change this to 2+. We got a couple more results there. Save search. Matches. And these are the 3 properties that are multifamily under 900,000 in Framingham specifically. And then every time a new property comes on, you're automatically going to get notified. So, I know Brooke has potential a couple flippers that are looking in the Sharon, Canton area. So what we're going to do, let's just do another example. Under contacts, I'm going to call this Sharon Flippers. I'm going to plug in my email because, again, I want to be notified every time a new property comes on, because this is how I'm going to be in front of builders. I'm going to send them these. Save. Searches. Now, let's say your buyer's interested in Sharon, Canton, but would also go to Westwood, Dedham. They're more looking for an opportunity. That's a great opportunity to use the map search. So under searches, go to new contact search. At this top, we have map. 4.4 thousand homes on the market. I'm going to zoom in. And I'm going to find the area that I'm going to be looking at. So we said Dedham, Norwood, Canton. Maybe they'd go to Randolph, Stoughton, maybe. But what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go to draw. This little squiggly, because I'm going to customize it. And I'm going to draw right around the areas that I want to be selling in, or I want to get notified in. 196 results. That's awful. We want to look for properties that are specific to fix and flips, kind of shitty properties that we can send that need value add. So what I'm going to do, actually, can you adjust? There we go. Let's also look in multifamilies as well, because maybe there's condo conversion projects. So single family and multi, there's 218. Keywords, you're going to Keywords are going to be anything that is going to show up in a listing that's going to specify a property in the listing description. So I'm thinking as is, builders, investors, contractors. Right off the bat, we got 26 results that fit these. Again, sometimes you're going to see a description where it's going to say like builders. They're going to say one of the market's best builders built this home. And on the results, it's going to come up with a new 2023 build. Obviously, that doesn't pertain to you, but we have 26 opportunities we can look at here. Save search. Oh, what the? I just got kicked out. Ah. Sorry, I'm going to go back through super quick. We did flippers and Sharon. Okay, so it's saved. So the criteria that we did is right here on the map. We're seeing the area that we targeted. When you save the search, we're going to go to matches. And here's all the properties that are actively on the market that fit that criteria. And again, you're looking here, rare opportunity for new construction, built by one of the finest builders. This is why this popped up in our search. This is not important to us. Click here. We can hide it. This is going to pop up. What we can do on the side, you see hidden listings. Change that to all, to not hidden. And now that property is not there. But right off the bat, you're going to go through and you're going to start running numbers on these properties here. 15 Forest Street, Medfield, 469, contractors, investors, listen up. Hey, we're listening up. What do we got here? Is this an opportunity that we can run numbers and send this property to a builder or a flipper who's interested in Medfield? And all we're going to do is look at the pictures and then run numbers. If we buy it at this, it's going to cost this. You can sell it for this, send it to an investor, and they're going to tell you if they like this deal or they don't like this deal. But because we set it up this way, every time a new property comes on, we're going to get notified. I would really hesitate, especially for flippers and builders. Do not put their email here. If you do, it's only to remember their email. Make sure they do not receive the emails, because you will lose credibility towards them if you start blasting them every property that comes on the market. You are not like these other agents. Remember your training. Trust it. Do not start sending them automatic stuff. Send them to yourself, run the numbers, and then send it to them. Hannah, yes, it absolutely annoys them. Because the way you got to look at it is any other real estate agent, they love these opportunities when someone says, hey, I'm looking to buy up to $1 million in Wellesley, Weston, Wayland, Needham. Send me every opportunity. They love that. So what they're going to do is they're going to go on MLS, see what's available for $1 million and send it to them and say, let me know if any of these are of interest. You're hoping a builder just does your work for them, or does the work for you, and they say, yes, this is a good deal, I'm interested. Versus what we do is we go through and say, hey, here's a property. Val, we went through a training with this morning. Here's a property that you can buy in Walpole for $420. It's going to be worth this at the end, doing this scope of work. Here's a budget that you, if we finance you, here's a budget you have to have. Here's your profit. Is this a good deal for you? Now the builder looks at it and says, yes, I can do this deal for the budget that you put in there, or no, I can't. It's got to be more or less. If it needs to be more, you say, great, would you be open to buying this at $30,000, $40,000 less to fit your budget? They say yes. Great. You go show them the property. They like it. You put in an offer for $40,000 less. But now you're automatically working with this builder versus shooting a random email out and saying, hey, take a look, let me know your thoughts. You won't earn any business that way. Remember our training, stick to it. Brooke, Val, Taylor, I know you guys came on a little bit late, so I don't know if there was an issue with Zoom or whatever, but questions about automatic drips?
No, I think I'm all set. Thank you.
No, just to kind of reiterate what you said. I don't know. I think I've told people this before in the past, and how you're just like what you said, don't send them the listings, do the work and then connect with them. So before I came on with Tyler and I was with my previous brokerage, that's exactly what I used to do. I used to see a property like in Needham, like whenever you're working around these markets and like you get a house that comes on the market, half acre lot Needham for $800,000. You already know right away that's a good opportunity. So what I was doing is I was just forwarding those. I would download the MLS listing and then I would forward it to the builders. And guess what? I would get no phone calls from them. And I was like, man, I know this is a great opportunity. Why isn't anybody calling me back on that? That's the reason why, is I wasn't really putting everything down on paper. I wasn't putting in the work. And as a result, I wasn't getting the phone calls back. So I lost on, a couple of pretty good deals.
Yeah, and there was one property, I think it was it Needham or Newton, Taylor, that you said you had an opportunity to have that listed like a year ago, and now it's finally got listed. Woodbine, the one in Needham.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Well, there's so many other examples. I mean, there's one that I think I sold, but I had an opportunity to sell it to a builder, right? But I wasn't putting in the work. It was a response from a letter that I sent out. So this lady had a house that it was a tear down, but it ended up going to somebody else. I mean, I got the sale of it, but I wanted the back end of it. And if
Yep.
I would have put everything down on paper and it was an off-market listing, I could have easily presented everything to builders and developers, but I didn't do that. And as a result, another agent got it. And, I kind of was upset about it, but it is what it is. You live and you learn.
Well, not only that is you could have gotten both sides potentially up front, and you would have had the listing on the backside because you brought an off-market opportunity to somebody.
Yeah, no, it was sad. It was a sad day for me.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, those things happen, but get comfortable with MLS, literally dissect it, learn as much as you can with this, because this is going to be where you make all of your money. If you do this the right way, builders, investors that you've talked to will send you deals, and then your job is to go on MLS and just say, it's worth this. Here's your numbers. Here's the project. Let me know if it works for you. They're going to say, nah, I need to make more money. I need a bigger budget. Okay, great. Move on to the next one. Or let's go put in a low ball offer. You never know. But if you get comfortable with this, Brooke, Hannah, Val, if you get a new client, let's say an end user, a first-time home buyer, set up the MLS drip campaign. For them, you can put on automatic emails because they want to be notified of regular houses that come on. I would highly recommend putting yourself on that same list, because it is your job to connect them to the opportunities. It's not their job to say, oh, I saw this house, I want to see it. If I'm a buyer and I'm working with Val and I am working my 9-to-5 job, I don't have time to go on and check every email that Val sends me. But if Val sends me an automatic drip email for a property that just came on that fits what I'm looking for, and then 2 minutes later, I get a text from Val saying, wow, you have to look at that property that just hit the market on Main Street. This is your home. Now you're being extra proactive, knowing that you're on top of your shit. And yes, I know I'm updating you, but you can't miss out on this one. We have to go take a look at it. Now you're just that much better of an agent.
Yeah, definitely. That's important. Like, you gotta stay on top of those. I had I fell behind with one, because as you start adding people into your database and like for the drips for MLS, you're gonna get a ton of them in there. You're gonna add so many, you're gonna have like 20 people, 30 people in there. And if you know like who your serious, people are, then you definitely want to stay in front of all of those emails that you get from MLS saying, hey, your John Smith just has a property that matches your criteria. Because if you don't, they're not going to look at them. I ran into this example, I think last year, when I had a guy that was looking for a commercial building in Milford, and something came on the market, and I was just sending him stuff. I stopped, connecting with him because I didn't really know if he was serious or not. And then one day the perfect building came on the market and somebody bought it that day, and he was so pissed at me. He called me, he was like, hey, why didn't you tell me that this came on the market? I'm like, well, I don't know. I thought, don't you get my emails? He's like, well, I can't check those every day. Like, I'm running multiple businesses. Like, I'm counting on you to, connect with me, let me know. And it was my fault. I just I gave up on the guy, and, I kind of kicked him to the curb, and, and that was my fault. It was an easy phone call, easy text message. I could have said, hey, I think this property is what you're looking for. And, I failed to do that, and I paid the ultimate consequence for that. So, I lost out on a good commission.
We don't like those. If no other questions, I know we said we'll do 12. We almost have a full group in here. I'm going to email you guys an individual link. I think whatever I sent out on the Google Meet or whatever didn't work. So keep an eye out for a new link that I'll just email over to you. Why don't we take 15 minutes and we'll get going at 11:45. Look out for the email coming out in a minute. But if it works for you, let's take 13 minutes and let's get on at 11:45, and we'll talk about how to talk to builders.
Okay. Hey, Tyler, just one question.
Yeah. Yep.
So for buyers and sellers, no, for buyers you can send automatic emails, but not for builders and investors or flippers.
Don't do it.
Okay.
You're
Yeah.
not like the other agents.
Okay.
You send them to yourself. You underwrite the deal. You go through the work, and you're going to look at, like those first couple days, you're going to look at 20, 30 houses,
Mhm.
and only a few of them are actually going to work for you, or sorry, that are actually going to work for your client. But you're going to get a lot of practice because you're going to go through 30 deals. 3 of them might make sense, but the ones that make sense, you automatically send to them. And then they tell you, hey, I like this deal, or I don't like this deal because X, Y, Z. If they like it, you go see it, you're putting in an offer that day. If you automatically send it to them, you're not going to hear a word.
So for investors, you just ask them what they want, and then you create an account, no?
Well, sorry, I cut you off. Ask their criteria for sure. Like, let's say you meet a new investor at a meetup event, and they say, I buy in Framingham, Natick, Wayland, Ashland. That's it. Cool. What's your email? You get their email. You don't send them anything, but you automatically start looking into Framingham, Natick, Wayland, Ashland. You get notified every new property that comes on. You underwrite it, and then you send it to them. So you're going to do an extra 20 to 30 minutes on every house that comes in. But that is a lot better than driving around and looking at 20 homes and putting in one offer that takes 4 days. You're going to spend 30 minutes underwriting a deal up front. If they like how the numbers look, they're going to say, Val, this is a deal I want to look at. Let's go. Then you drive, you walk through the property, and then you put on your sales hat. Wow, look at the windows coming through. Wow, I would love to open this up. You can remove this wall and open it. That's just using vision and having fun with it. But the important thing is now you're actually working with the investor, walking through an opportunity that he wants to buy. He likes it. He goes, Val, I think we should go for it. Then you put in an offer, you submit it and say, look, we're ready to buy. We'll close in 3 weeks. Here's the number. You offer it. You get it. Great. You get paid in 3 weeks. And then ipso facto, you know that property is getting renovated. You get to sell it once it's renovated on the backside. You just got 2 commissions off of it. If you automatically did a drip campaign and sent it to him, you would have never walked through the door. I promise you. There's 50 other agents that are trying to get his business.
All right.
So, but yeah, let's take 10 minutes. Kevin, I know you just got on. I'm going to email out a link in case there was issues with the last one. I'm going to email it out, take a 10-minute break. We'll hop on at 11:45 and we'll get cranking.